The Russian colonization of the Kazakh steppes played a significant role on the development of the religion and Islamization of the Kazakh society, starting from the 18th century. Even though the rapid spread of the Islam religion dates back to 18th-19th centuries, the real penetration of Islam starts much earlier at the era of Golden Horde. The notable Islam expansion starts after the Kazakh subjecthood by the Russian Empire in the 18th century. The question here is to analyze how Russian colonization policy became the major cause of Islamization, including the reforms of Edict of Toleration of Catherine II and the establishment of Orenburg Spiritual Assembly, the impact of formation of religious institutions and steppe statute of 1868 and 1891. Starting from the 18th century, the change in the politics and the part of Islam in Kazakh society had changed. The leaders of the Kazakh steppe and the Russian Empire saw religion a powerful manipulation method of controlling the people and gaining more political authority. The ethnic and cultural diversity of the Russian Empire spurred the Empress Catherine II to create the reforms to support non-Orthodox faiths in order to demonstrate the imperial power and use religion as a political tool for establishment of religious liberty. According to Frank and Usmanov, one of the purposes of the reforms included the expansion of the religious institutions and distribution of religious literature of foreign spiritual affairs. The Tatar movement led not only to religious enlightenment, but also made Kazakhs to involve into the Russian economy, for example, paying the Islamic taxes zakat. The creation of a system of religious administration managed to the establishment of the Orenburg Spiritual Assembly for Muslims, which were the major Islamic institution and were under the leadership of the Mufti. For the Kazakh steppe, the center of Islam studies was the city of Semipalatinsk, where in the 1880s numerous sedentary institutions as mosques and madrasas were opened.
Hence, every Muslim official such as mullahs, imams, and other clergy members had given the privileges in the face of salaries and social and administrative status. For example, parish people conducted the elections of mullahs with the further confirmation of the status by the government. In the elections, the preferences were always given to the candidates who knew Russian. Thus, the formation of the religious institutions had given a launch for sedentarization of the nomadic nation and gave the opportunity to gain more control among the Kazakhs. Steppe statutes of 1868 and 1891 decreased the influence of Muslim Tatars on local Kazakh Muslims and decreased the influence of Russian Empire on Islam. In the middle of 19th century, people started to question whether Kazakhs were actually Muslims or not. One of them was Chokhan Valikhanov. In his writings called "О мусульманстве в степи", he wrote that Islam, especially Islam that is brought to Kazakh steppe by Tatars, are negatively affecting to social development of Kazakh nation. Then he suggested to reform on spiritual administration of the steppe, saying that Kazakhs should be separated from Orenburgskaya Muftiya, and that there should be only one mullah per okrug who should be of Kazakh ethnicity. In 1868, Islamic affairs was removed from the general regulatory apparatus of the Russian Empire. According to Paul Wers, it limited the Orenburg Assembly's jurisdiction over the Kazakh steppe. Statute of 1868 allowed only one mullah for each volest, and more importantly, mullah always must have been ethnical Kazakh. Moreover, those mullahs were directly under local civil administration. Afterwards, in 1891, Orenburg Muslim Spiritual Assembly had no jurisdiction over the steppe. It means that no more Tatar mullahs were in the Kazakh steppe, and local civil administration had authority among local population. That way, imperial regulation of Islam in the steppe reduced it to a minimum. In conclusion, Orenburg Spiritual Assembly resulted in expansion of religious institutions and distribution of religious literature, and migration of Tatar population into Kazakh steppe, which led to religious enlightenment and involvement of Kazakh steppe into Russian Empire's economy. New religious institutions made Muslim officials privileged. They received salaries and had certain social or administrative status. The steppe statute of 1868 and 1891 resulted in decrease of impact of Russian Empire to regulations of Islam in Kazakh steppe, since after those reforms Orenburg Muslim Spiritual Assembly had no control over the steppe.